oil, whatever you are using, you should get maximum drain interval, maximum life from the equipment, from lubricating oil, from your all the oil. So many types of oil. On automotive oils are there, industrial oils are there, you know, quenching oil, cutting oil, different industry, different oil. Nobody wants breakdown. Now we are talking about no breakdown is required. Every industry I've seen Six Sigma industry also in South. They said in 365 days, our breakdown is zero. They proudly says, and they in South only I have seen those industry, those are having zero breakdown. Why? Because they are working in this predictive maintenance costs. But they are running it, they want to reduce their this breakdown maintenance cost, but everything you have to do it. If you talk about reduce lubricant usage, then here is the role of oil industry. You have to reduce your lubricant uses, and this is only possible from change intervals of lube oil. Everybody saying my original equipment manufacturer supplier said, he said, you have to change your engine oil and after certain hours. Now I'm telling you, I've conducted so many condition monitoring program, not from OEM of India. In fact, it is from South Korea, North Korea, European machine, and we have proved them. Whatever oil you are draining in 250 hours, it can go up to 350 hours, gentlemen. You have to listen to me. They said, now you have to prove it. Then we have proved it can go up to 350 hours. So safe period is instead of 250 and 350 or 400 hours, we'll take it as a 50 hours. Suppose you are extending one engine oil life of 250 hours, those are dozers and dumpers and excavators and loaders. 250 hours round the clock running, you can understand oil which they were changing within 10 days, they used to change between 12, 13, 14, 15 days. It's a huge amount of money, because this is going from your pocket only. I'm not going to pay for that. I'm just extended life has given them 10% of reduction in their per metric ton cost. You can imagine there's a extended oil change interval. Mr. Sanjay, in his previous speech, he said, reduce, recycle, reuse. Reduce, you can, from here, recycle all condition monitoring oil. You know, from one more thing I tell my all industries, there are critical and non-critical parameters. There are critical oil and non-critical oil. Suppose you are using some oil in critical machine, after that you can use it, but same oil in non-critical machine also, suppose you use it for 50 hours or 100 hours, it's a huge saving. Recycle, for recycle, because topic, I have to give justice to the topic. For recycling of oil, reuse of the oil, there are so many registered re-refiners are there. You have to contact them, they'll take your product and they'll distill it. See, I have seen, you might have seen in my diagram, there are complex parameter. Again, they'll sell it as a base oil and whatever, because this is the only procedure where we can say, we can reuse also those oils. Lubrication root cause, everybody knows lubrication failure, lubrication contamination, additive depletion, mechanical failure. See, as a mechanical engineer, my role is here. Please see your alignment, faulty installation, overheating, many more. Because these are very small things which you have to look after. It might be in your maintenance schedule, but you have to slightly modify your maintenance schedule as per the demand and requirement of the industry nowadays. Earlier, oil was very cheap, very, uh, 50 rupees a liter, 40 rupees a liter. There was no problem. Industry is same. Please mind. Please note this. Industry is same. Equipments are same. Everything is same. From 40 liters, today we are selling at 200 rupees a liter, because this is the demand. This is the time has come. You have to look for all these oil, because oil is means a lot, because this is heart of the plant. Oil is just like a blood sample report. You have to see all the parameters. If something is happening, some elements are coming, something is coming in your oil which is not desired, then you have to see for this. Whenever I talk about this contamination process, so these are the process. Machinery oils can be contaminated by a variety of materials that are measurable by oil analysis. From the naked eye, you cannot see, gentlemen, because this is not possible. Naked eye, if you go for these all that suit, processed material, wear metals, water glycols, fuel, processed chemical, wrong oil, this is not possible at your end. You cannot see from your naked eye, because there is a special process and procedure where you have to take help of condition monitoring. Ask your oil supplier, whosoever it is. I'm not talking about particular industry, particular company, particular oil supplier, because this is your prime responsibility and prime requirement. You can ask before buying the product. You ask your supplier, can you give me condition monitoring for the product? And one liner, when in each and every forum, I'm saying contamination is the single largest cause of lubricant failure. We have studied in my career of 30 plus years, I have worked with sugar mills, power plants, chemical plants, engineering plants, you name it. Because I got the opportunity to work in northern India, western part of India. I was just telling Mr. Sanjay, there was one very good industry, and they are number one in their particular field. They have bought this oil 20 years, 15 years back, and it was costing something around 1 to 1.5 CR. But never they have checked the oil, and they have not done any condition monitoring. They have not asked the supplier, and it was resulted in a huge breakdown. After breakdown, what we have done, I have taken the sample, we have done the analysis. Then I came to know everything was there. Dirt was there, soot was there, processed material was there, wear metals were there, fuel was there, everything, you name it, everything was there. So it's very difficult to reclaim the oil after a certain interval. If you are on the condition monitoring on regular basis, you will come to know health of the oil. There are so many, as I said earlier, additive depletion, VI sharing, oxidation of oil, sulfation, nitration, soot. See, now we are talking about CNG engine also. Whenever we talk about some people for the general public knowledge, we are working on auto cycle for MS, petrol engine, spark ignition engine, compression engine, ignition engine. But all these, CNG engines, they are also spark ignition, but they work on some different cycle. Some call it stoichiometric cycle, some call it different cycle, different thing. But this is efficiency of CNG vehicles are less as compared to our petrol and diesel engine. But, these gaseous fuel, there is no liquid. So they are running on very high temperature. So thermal stress, when I talk about stress, heat, everything is there, because there is no liquid fuel, so cooling to your wall is not possible. And soot deposit on wall. We say it in Hindi, ये अभिशाप है, ये वरदान है. सूट डिपॉजिट वॉल के ऊपर. तो अभी इसके ऊपर धारणा ये है कि वी से 50-50. Somebody say, if you forget about wear analysis and breakdown maintenance, I forgot this. But since I have done this analysis with the Cummins people, because I don't feel taking name, because we have done it, and these all blue line buses of Delhi, there we have to establish the drain interval of the oil. Please understand, for establishing any drain interval of the oil in any of the industry, these are not experimental things. These are not experimental things. You have to prove it. You have to run behind the vehicles. You have to draw the sample on regular basis. We start from 0 hours, 100 hours, 150 hours, 200 hours, 250 hours, 300, whatever it is, because you have to take plenty of samples and collection of 100 vehicles. Then you have to take the analysis. It takes 6 months, minimum 6 months. And that time Blue Line was hardly, their halt was for 5 to 10 minutes because they were in the hurry. They have to run. They have to run, and another stop is there, and we have to drain out and establish drain period. Everybody is saying, sir, aapne chemical analysis kar liya hoga, then you come to, no, gentlemen. For any drain interval, you have to prove to the OEM, to the vehicle manufacturer supplier, everyone. Drain interval is not possible without physical intervention. You have to run behind each and every vehicle, then you will come to know these are the drain interval. I have seen in Delhi, this is in the year of 2003 or 4, all these, we were talking about, because mechanical engineering is very complex engineering. We started working on these CNG engines, but we have not taken into account metallurgy. Is metallurgy, whatever we have given to the vehicle, particular vehicle, is able to take care of these high temperature stress, thermal stress? Because in the CNG vehicle, nitration and sulfation is taking place. No soot deposit on the wall. So torch wall, you will find wall, they have, cut it. One fine morning, I have seen one wall was cleared from the half of the shape. That is called torch wall in the terms of mechanical engineering, metallurgical engineering. So I think they have, OEM, they have changed the strategy, they have changed the metallurgy. Now, whatever vehicle you are saying, they are very safe. But now they have taken into account those metallurgy. And those metallurgy was possible only because of condition monitoring of the vehicle. This is the live example of condition monitoring in the industries. See, bearing failure due to corrosive acid byproducts in the oil. See, how these are taken care by is condition monitoring, because we'll come to know in advance, because these are the worst condition. You have put your oil in the vehicle, put up your oil in the engines, and we have not taken care. These are the results. And this is the result of the oil because of thermal stress and thermal degradation, high temperature, everything is there. And condition monitoring is not possible from oil manufacturer supplier. This is a teamwork. Everybody has to take care. Oil consumer, original equipment manufacturers, and oil supplier. Oil supplier is the only person who is doing condition monitoring. Without the support of oil consumers and OEM, this is not possible. Now, this is your right. You have to ask your supplier. You buy the product only because, suppose they are saying, are you taking care of my turbine? My turbine is consisting of 335,000 liters of oil, gentlemen. This is costing me something around 70 lakhs of rupees, one turbine. I have seen series of turbines, 5 turbines, 2 crores of rupees of liter of oil. And every supplier or condition monitoring, please ask your supplier, ask your equipment engineer, because this is the prime responsibility of the supplier to take care of your equipment. Mr. Sanjay was saying me, sir, now people are not taking care oil supplier. They are just giving the product and they are running away. No, this is the prime responsibility. As a citizen of India, this is my prime responsibility to take care of my consumer. I have to give them condition monitoring. I'm not talking, when I say I means oil industry, oil supply, prime industry. And this is the service you can demand from your supplier, because oil condition monitoring is taking care of your equipment and oil. Oh God, just see. This is the process which I was telling you, everyone, oil analysis flow diagram. I leave here just for what? 1 minute. You just have a look. How many controls are there? How many recommendations are there? This is giving the complete example of, whatever you are getting from your iron, aluminum, chromium, copper, silica, lead, tin, everything is coming. Everything is not coming from the oil. Something is coming from your equipment also, your bearing also. Please keep in mind, whatever bearing is giving you separation of film to avoid metal contacts, metal to metal contact, this is in microns. You cannot see from your even eyes. Not possible. Condition monitoring is taking care of your health. Management reports are there, maintenance people are there, analysis are there, everything is there. For doing condition monitoring, you have to do condition monitoring scheduling. Samples you have to draw, vital parameters you have to draw, on-site test you have to do it, lab analysis you have to do it, and interpretation of test reports, because it's very difficult. Suppose I give you one report, see, heart specialists are there, liver specialists are there, eyes specialists are there. Everybody is having specialists in the hospital. Like that only, in this oil condition monitoring report, suppose I give you a simple report, you won't be able to understand what I'm saying. Interpretation of results is very much required in oil condition monitoring program. Now, what I'm showing you, because I talk about oil condition monitoring, if my product, if my barrels are not kept in good condition, it's useless. No oil condition monitoring can be done. Whatever we are telling about these barrels position, we should always keep lubricant barrels in 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position. Why I am saying? Because barrels also breathe. This is the condition of barrel. First, we have to take care of storage and handling of lubricant. Then oil condition monitoring comes. If storage and handling is not proper, then oil reduces their properties here itself. Because like we are breathing, barrels also breathe. In this condition, you just see rainwater is there, and due to night and day temperature variations are there, air space is there, air space reduced, and breathing is taking place. Like we breathe, barrels also breathe. You cannot avoid in this country, India, because hot temperature, 49, 45, 46, 42, this is taking place in case there is a water in a bunk. All this water will come to your product. So 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position is if due to winter, due to this night and day, some breathing is taking place. There is no place to take care of, there is no place to, there is no place to avoid this. Only this 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Why I'm saying? Because bunks. There are one mini short bunk is there, one big bunk is there in the barrels. So when you are keeping your barrels in a position where oil is filled up to the neck, there is no question of breathing of the barrel. Your barrels are safe, and this is the prime responsibility and prime importance of the oil man to keep the barrels in the sound condition. This and grease barrels, base oil, lubricating oils consist of base oil and additives. So that position is important, but I'm not keeping any grease barrel in 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock position, because grease barrels are consisting of base oil, additive, and thickener. Please keep in mind, no grease oil, no grease is giving you this lubrication effect, because greases also oil is there. Only oil is lubricating your bearings, everything wherever you are using the oil. Only oil is lubricating your product, your machines. Because once you squeeze out, because of stress, because of pressure, we are giving pressure to the greases, and grease, water ooze out. This oil ooze out from the greases, and that is giving the lubrication. After that pressure, again, structure is taking place. So whenever we talk about grease, we say once you do it on this 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position, this barrel, the barrel, this oil will come out. You will find only dry grease is there, dry soap is there, because sodium, lithium, all these are soap. Those are for holding the greases. To hold the greases, hold the oil, and with the pressure and temperature, it comes out. This is the theory of greases, because people are not aware how grease is going to work. Grease is whatever you see, oil is there. Oil is taking care of your lubrication requirement. That is why keeping the grease barrel in vertical position, oil barrel in 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock is very important. See, these are because in the industry you will find so many oils are there. You have to segregate it. Hydraulic oil, you should not be mixed with automotive oil, quenching oil, turbine oil. You should have one system in place from where whenever you are dispensing the oil, it is only those oil you required for. And one tag is there, you just tag it, measures with all the oil, gear oil, automotive oil, industrial oil. It will be very easy for the oil man to segregate the oil. I always keep a slide here for the benefit of the person. Please, when you are using proper oil management, so there are chances of contamination, oil failure, mixing of wrong oil is very less. Here I'll stop for 1 minute. This is for the people of industry, power industry. Sanjay ji, can we have people from oil industry to discuss? Suppose somebody understands this. Industry understand this.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions from industry.
Question, yeah, this is just for power industry. This diagram is the, my work of 30 years of experience. Ask any industry, they have this kind of diagrams. Steam power industry, they don't have. I have taken out from power industry only after discussing with these people, taking care of sample after 3 to 4 years of experience. This is the crux of the steam engineering plant. Just give me 1 minute. Sarita, जरा इससे वो दे देना, लाइट दे देना, उसके अंदर ना वो होगा
Dr.
pointer.
Anshul,
See,
I hope you are listening. Your artificial intelligence is going to play a very important role in what Pankaj Sahab is explaining.
For
Anshul
Anshul
coming to my mind. Yeah.
For Anshul also, I kept flight here. See,
देखिए मैं ऑडियंस के लिए एक बार फिर कहूंगा,
बाद में बात करेंगे, मैं इसको इसलिए रोक दिया हूँ. दिस इज फॉर माय पावर प्लांट पीपल.
जस्ट पांकटे साहब जस्ट एक सेकेंड, मैं ब्रेक. आई विल जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ ऑडियंस मैं एक बार फिर कहना चाहूंगा, डॉक्टर अंशुल विक्रम पांडे दुनिया के 29 लोगों में से हैं, वर्ल्ड के 29 लोगों में से हैं जो अंडर 30 हैं और सिलेक्ट हुए हैं और जो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पे रिसर्च कर रहे हैं. ही इज गोइंग टू मेक ए फैंटास्टिक प्रेजेंटेशन कि जो पांकटे साहब जो प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं, व्हाट इज हाउ द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस कैन प्ले ए रोल and can solve the problems predictably.
You might have seen, संजय जी आपने देखा होगा, अंशुल पांडे जी एक स्लाइड को बड़े ध्यान से गौर कर रहे हैं. And he is not a mechanical engineer, but he understands everything. See what I am saying? True representative of the sample. We don't want sample from here. This is main oil tank. Please listen. This is your steam turbine. This is your turbine, steam turbine. We are drawing sample from here. Most of the time, here we are not drawing any sample, we are drawing water only. Whenever we draw sample from here, main oil tank, we are drawing water, and here you will find demulsibility characteristics is not up to the mark. When you send sample to oil supply, he'll say your demulsibility is not proper. This is for the industry people. This is for all. Everybody is having turbines in their plant, whether 40 megawatt, 200 megawatt, 20 megawatt, doesn't make a difference. We don't want sample from here. You have to drain it, your main oil tank on daily basis. You have to drain oil, otherwise your sample will not be true sample. This oil is coming from bearing drain. This is coming here. This is again going to centrifuge, and from centrifuge again going to main oil tank. From main oil tank, from going to main oil pump, this is going to oil coolers to TG bearing, turbo generator bearing, and again from bearing drain to, this is the complete cycle. This is called closed cycle. You cannot do any alteration here, gentlemen, because this is a design engineering. And steam turbines, and these are all closed cycle. Oil is coming and going, coming and going compulsory. We want sample from bearing drain. Now you have to decide how to take sample from here. What goes inside, that comes outside. Because, you know, if you are not giving sample from TG bearing, bearing inlet and bearing outlet, so true samples are not coming. Because this is, I have done one engineering program, this sampling program with one of the prestigious industry. मेरे को इसमें नाम लेने में कोई बुराई नहीं. This exercise I have done with NTPC, one of the unit, and we came out with the solution how to take sample. I think they might be taking sample like this, because every time this type of samples were coming from two industries, and this was showing wrong samples and additive doses of excessive doses of every industry. Excess doses of additives is also giving chance to foaming. We don't want any foaming in the steam turbine. Foaming is the main culprit of the turbine oil. Because, you know, 10,000 RPM, so many high power RPM is there. And in case of any aeration or any dilution will take place, chip will go away. And now you can understand how much one chip is costing. See, whatever is sample from draining drain, this is the first point, and bearing inlet, whatever is going inside, coming outside is the true sample. Take sample when machine is running, oil is still at operating temperature, reservoir, siphon tube. See, what I'm saying, whenever you are giving the samples, please give samples. Those are not contaminated. Otherwise, it won't be a true sample. See, these are the parameters, appearance, water content. What we do in condition monitoring, these are the appearance. Clear and white, if sample is clear and white, okay. Hazy, cloudy and opaque, suspended contamination. Deterioration due to oxidation, you will find pungent smell. Oxygen odor, burnt smell. Oil bubble and crackers, water present in the excess of 0.2% of dilution. Oil bubbles are there, and water is always a culprit. These are the matter. You don't need to note this, but viscosity index, tan, TBN, foam, demulsibility, flash. This is a whole complex problem. As a consumer, you cannot measure it. You can measure kinematic viscosity, TBN, small things but to analyze the oil, you should have this kind of, machines. Insoluble water, mixture, oxidation, evaporation, this will increase your kinematic viscosity. Fuel dilution is taking place, VI sharing is there, low viscosity oil is there, then viscosity will be decreased. These are few, small tips. Those are very much required in the industrial practices. Fuel dilution is taking place in most of the, automotive oils. You have to avoid, because this will reduce your lubricity procedure, lubrication, and your machine will be running hot. See, with the condition monitoring, we'll come to know so many things. When we talk about industrial oil, we talk about TAN, total acid number. When TAN is decreased by 50%, we replace the oil. What machine diagnosis, what we see, overheating is there, overextended drill interval is there, improper oil type is there, moisture oil is there, moisture in oil, high metallic condition, antioxidants. See, all the additives, they are into thermal stress and thermal temperature. Lot of stress is taking place. Thermal degradation is there. Everything is there. But you can't avoid it, because this is the nature of the machine. Machine will work like that only. In automotive oil, low TBN is there. See, my oil has to run for 10,000 hours. I have run for 1,400 hours, 14,000 hours. What will do? This is called extended drain, overextended oil drains. Your engine will go fat. You will not come to know after running for so many kilometers, you have given stress to your engine. Improper oil is there, then again a problem. Overheating will take place. High sulfur fuel is gone. Blow by, blow by, automotive engine blow by is there. So, insoluble, oxidation resin, carbon, soot. There are so many parameters. Those are coming from oil. There are parameters. Those are coming from engine. Your equipment. You have to find out. The extraneous meter, carbon, soot is where particle, dust, everything is there. So these are insoluble. Because whenever you do this analysis, you will find amount of oxidized product. Hexane insoluble, carbon, soot, wear particle, dust, and see, wear particle is not coming from oil. Dust and dirt is not coming from oil. These are coming from the machines. We have to identify which are the parameters, those are coming from only oil, which are the parameters, those are coming from the machines. And these are very important. We don't want water. Water is the, enemy of the oil. Whether this is automotive oil, whether it is industrial oil, water is highly corrosive. We don't want water. So taking care of water, how water ingress, see, circulatory system due to leakage in water coolers. You will come to know condition monitoring only. There is no method. There is no, supplier in the world. There is no maintenance engineer who can tell this my water is coming. Steam condensation is taking place in the turbine. You cannot avoid. This takes, flue gases are there. Automotive oils are coming due to condensation of flue gases because you cannot avoid. This will come. But there are limits. There are certain limits. You have to work on those limits only. So, my dear industrialists, what I am saying, I was talking about agents, anti-foam agents. Foaming is not required. I am giving this anti-foaming agent to take care of industrial oil, not to foam. Foam should not be there. But if you take the wrong sample, this will be done. These types of foaming will be there because of excessive doses of additive. This is paramount importance of the oil. See, just keep in mind two things. Demulsifier is the heart of the industrial oil. I don't want water. I want a product. This gives water repulsion. Water should be repelled. After a certain interval, we call it demulsibility test. Suppose oil is there, water is there, then after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, this is the method, water and oil should be separated because due to density difference. Any oil, lubricating oil, any oil in the world is not more than one. This is less than one, so you can drain it and your oil is as good as new. But just opposite to this demulsifier, there is one more. This is not working. Emulsifier. See, we don't want water there. We want repel characteristics for the industrial oil. Okay, repellent should be there. मेरा जो oil है, मेरा जो water है, भाई oil की layer ऊपर आ जाए, oil की layer यहाँ पे ऊपर आ जाए, और क्या कहते हैं water यहाँ पे mix oil आ जाए, यहाँ पे water आ गया इसमें demulsifier में. तो मैंने drain कर लिया, मेरा drain हो गया, oil is as good as new. और सेंट्रीफ्यूज में हो गया, मैकेनिकल इंप्योरिटीज मोड में चला दिया, सब कुछ चला दे, ऑयल इज एज गुड एज न्यू. और मेरे टरबाइन में कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा बिकॉज वहां पे हर चीज हीटिंग एलिमेंट एवरीथिंग इज देयर. बट इन केस ऑफ ऑटोमेटिव ऑयल, आई वांट, यहां पे मेरा दूसरा केस आता है. इमल्सिफायर क्या है? दिस इज द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स टू mix the engine oil with the water. Suppose we are running in the field, waters come, raining, huge raining is there, everything is there. मेरे engine में some water contamination is there, मेरा water आ गया. For the next garage, for the next destination, water should be in the emulsified condition so that my vehicle, which is costing around 1.5 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 1 crore, it doesn't get affected, and all the characteristics of automotive engine oil, we get it from the engine oil. So emulsifier are very important parameters for automobile, and demulsifier are very utmost parameters for the industrial engine. Because why I am saying, because in the both the condition, my lubrication requirement different in microns only in both the conditions. Rusting, these are the procedure of rusting, how to take sample, and all these condition monitoring parameters. Atomic absorption, spectroscopy, these are the machine which will take care, which will tell the health of your equipment. It takes hardly 1 to 2 minutes. You put it, your oil, it will give you results in the computerized format. These are the condition monitoring. Gentlemen, all the participants here, all the industries, they are having this kind of instrument. And for the industry, putting these 4, 5 crores, 10 crores of instrument is not desirable, not required also. To take your help of your oil equipment manufacturers, oil supplier, they'll do the condition monitoring for you. This is your right. You have to ask for it. There are some contaminants, those are coming from piston rings, chromium, cooling fluid. Suppose lead is coming from bearing, and some is coming from MS petrol. Again, lead is coming from bearing, bronze part. This only tin is coming from bearing liners, bronze part, silicon is again a system. Those are not the part of oil. You have to understand which part is giving you problem, oil or equipment. Equipment gives problem only when we are not doing the condition monitoring. We have to define the purpose, appropriate test is required, contaminant to act on the information. We have to take care of everything. And as suggested by my dear friend Sanjay ji, I have not taken much of a time, and I have finished my lecture in the defined time period because, people are curious. We have not given them to understand question. So question and answer will take after the lecture of Dr. Anshul Pandey. And I request Dr. Anshul, please, this condition monitoring parameters, because I'll take 5 minutes more. As an oil supplier, as a condition monitoring equipment, industry, original equipment manufacturers, oil supplier, we are working on certain environment. But customer is not aware when to give sample and where to give sample and which is the best time, how to take sample, because he's not getting any alert message. In this competitive scenario, today's scenario, everybody is looking after to reduce per metric ton cost, to look after their better maintenance practices, everything. But if he is not aware, if he is not aware where to give when to give samples, how to give samples, no alert is coming because people are working on this alert message. Nowadays, please, unless and until I get an alert message from my mobile, provider, your payment is due, I'll not give any payment because I'm not aware of, because back of the mind, I'm not aware when to give. We get alert message. Sir, your payment is due, you have to do the payment. Then I do it. I am getting this message from bank, sir, you have to deposit your KYC. Then I go to bank. Sir, you got the challan from the party, then I am going there. So now AI is required in the industry, which is going to help them out. My responsibility is there. Everything consumer has to do it. There is no, magical stick. Or chadi, मैं बोल दूं sir, आपका sample नहीं. No. Now time has come. In one mobile phone, they should get all the message. Sir, turbine number 5, this is due. Sir, hydraulic machine number 12, now this sample is due. You please take your sample and give the analysis report. The time has come. AI is to take the responsibility of the industry, and they have to tell industry, advanced industry. Now time has come. Cloud computing is there. This AI is there. It will take care. You don't worry. We are here to help you. And this is what I'm eager to listen from Dr. Anshul and Sanjay ji. And this is also my first time to look the condition monitoring through AI and to implement in the industry. And I request Anshul also to, why don't you start as a pilot project with the CBS technology only, because they are ready to take this project forward. And I know, the people industry, in the industrial sector, there are so many people. Those are talking about reuse, recycle, reduce. And these are the method where we can do the analysis. And oil analysis, not giving the health of the equipment, not giving the health of the oil. This is giving the requirement of the equipment also. Please take care of your equipment. Otherwise, equipment will be in the bad condition after some time. This is just like a doctor's report. He is giving the indication. We have to follow it. Thank you so much for patient hearing, and I'm ready to take the few questions for next after the lecture of Dr. Anshul. Thank you, Sanjay ji. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pankaj साहब. A wonderful presentation. बहुत ही vast field है ऑयल इंजीनियरिंग. अभी तो आपने एक बहुत ही छोटा सा कंडीशन मॉनिटरिंग, मतलब मैं भी बहुत केयरफुली सुन रहा था. इवन हाउ टू टेक द सैंपल इज एन आर्ट. मेजर आपकी जो बात है कि प्रॉब्लम ऑयल के साथ है या आपके इक्विपमेंट के साथ है, डेफिनेटली नोबडी नोस. और इतने सुंदर सुंदर आपने टिप्स दी हैं. करोड़ों रुपए का तेल एक एक इंडस्ट्री बेस कर देती है. लेट मी टेल यू, आई एम ए मैन्युफैक्चरर. मैं अपनी हर मीटिंग की शुरुआती एक चीज से करता हूं कि वर्ल्ड वाइड इसमें 5 पैरामीटर्स पे फाइट हो रही है. कॉस्ट, पीपल वांट टू पे लेस एंड वांट टू गेट द बेस्ट. चाइना ने पूरी दुनिया को सिखाया है वैल्यू फॉर मनी. इंडिया हैज ए फेयर चांस. So we are fighting on reducing the cost. Quality, we have to improve our quality, cost, quality. Speed, people want very fast. Today they give the order and tomorrow they want a delivery. This is the speed, cost, quality, speed. Innovation, they want new feature. The car is changing every 6 months. Mobile is changing every 6 months. New technology, innovation. And fifth is, which is very dear to me, is the safety. When we do all this, the safety of environment, safety of our people, safety of our culture system is important. So on these 5 things, the whole world is fighting. Now again, Anshul ji, Dr. Anshul Pandey, really the world, India is looking towards you very hopefully. Being one of the 30% in the world at the age of less than 30 is a remarkable achievement. I feel so thrilled. I keep reading this statement again and again. Being identified in the Forbes magazine of US as under 30, one of the 30 in the world. Really. ऑयल के में बहुत सुंदर पांच के सामने भी तो टच किया है. हम लोग अभी सीरीज ऑफ सेमिनार्स ऑयल स्पेसिफिक, बहुत सारे लोग मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर रहे हैं, लिख रहे हैं. Somebody wants to understand cutting oil, hydraulic oil, turbine oil, transformer oil, quenching oil, series of oil. We will have oil specific seminars. Gentlemen जो लोग यहाँ हैं, we are starting a series of awareness in the country about various oils. तो oil specific करेंगे, and I am sure people, Pankaj साहब and the people like him will support us. मैं अब डॉक्टर अंशुल पांडे, मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि जो हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस या मशीन लर्निंग की जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, व्हाट आई वांट टू से, आज मेरी कलाई पे घड़ी बंदी होती है जो एवरी मिनट दैट इज टेलिंग मी कि कितना मेरा हार्ट रेट है, मेरे ब्लड को क्या हो रहा है, मुझे हाफी आ रही है, मैं भाग रहा हूँ, दौड़ रहा हूँ, स्टेप्स चला है. पांगटे साहब ने बोला वी नीड दैट काइंड ऑफ मशीन लर्निंग. आज एक इंडस्ट्री के लोग, इंडस्ट्री के मेंटेनेंस लोग यहाँ पे बहुत सारे हैं इस समय. hundreds of people have joined. I am seeing on YouTube and Facebook. बहुत काम है, इतनी स्ट्रेस रहती है, बड़ा मुश्किल है. जो पांगटे सामने कहा कि इस टरबाइन को ऑयल चेंज करो, इसमें पानी घुस गया, इसमें निकल घुस गया, इसमें सिलिकॉन घुस गया, इसमें ये हो गया, इसमें हो गया. क्या करें, पागल हो जाते हैं. घर पे आओ, घर की सुनो, फैक्ट्री में जाओ, फैक्ट्री में की सुनो. यू हैव टू गिव अस ए टूल. डॉक्टर पांडे, अभी मैंने पढ़ा ना, चंद्रयान में भी कोई एक यंग सा इंजीनियर है जिसने ये सब कुछ पॉसिबल किया. You become our that Chandran engineer in oil maintenance. Please give us some tools जो हमारी problems को, हमारे stress को reduce करे. और जो करोड़ों रुपए का तेल वेस्ट हो रहा है, how to introduce artificial intelligence, machine learning, how to make our job less stressful, make people realize the importance of oil, reduce their cost. And let me tell you, oil is a big cost. कॉस्ट रिडक्शन इंडिया को ग्लोबली कॉम्पिटिटिव बनाएगा. हम लोग कह रहे हैं ना, अब हम दुनिया को सिखा रहे हैं. आवर टाइम हैज कम. सो टाइम फॉर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, टाइम फॉर मशीन लर्निंग इन दिस ऑयल इंजीनियरिंग, इन दिस प्रिडिक्टिव मेंटेनेंस का भी आ गया है. ओवर टू यू सर. आई एम वेरी होपफुल, वेरी ईगर टू लिसन टू यू. हाउ, व्हाट इज द रोड मैप यू आर गोइंग टू फॉलो फॉर दिस, प्लीज.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sanjay sir, for
inviting me. I clap for you in the beginning. Yeah, please.
Thank you. There are too many kind words for me. And thank you so much, Pankaj sir, for very, very thorough and insightful presentation. For all of our joinees here, I'm actually probably one of the farthest from the oil industry altogether. But when you really are an engineer at heart, you start to see commonalities. तो वही commonalities देखते देखते journey मैंने शुरू की, and right now I'm in India these days. Actually, I was just traveling here. So it's very interesting that I found this opportunity to speak about artificial intelligence. So I will do a screen share. The agenda and the structure of my talk, I have about 15 minutes. I'll try to wrap under 15 minutes. Absolutely. Sorry, sir.
15 minutes nahi hai. If you talk about this intelligence for half an hour, we are ready to listen. Hai Sanjay ji?
पांटे साहब, मेरे पास आपके लिए 100 क्वेश्चन आ चुके हैं।
नहीं, मैं तो उससे 100 का तो जवाब नहीं दूंगा। फिर सुनिए, we'll have another series. मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ, अंशुल को you take more time. You can take 20-25 minutes. There is no hurry. But we want this seminar should be very useful and fruitful for everyone.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because there are hundreds of participants. ये मुझे लग रहा है इनका कहीं क्रैश न कर जाए लाइन।
ठीक है सर. So the structure is going to be थोड़ा सा अपना introduction I will provide, and then we will look at where are we with regards to technology to implement an ideal solution for condition monitoring and predictive maintenance. And I am a strong believer. मेरा background जो है finance में थोड़ा मैंने spend किया time. I'm a strong believer in the concept of arbitrage. Finance का concept है arbitrage. You take something from that works really well in one area, and you find a common problem in another field, and then you take the same ideas and same technologies there and see how it works. And sometimes it does wonders as the overall solution. So let me do a screen share, sir, and uske baad we'll take it from there. So please let me know if you're able to see my screen. Perfect. So let me go full screen. 1 minute. Present full screen. Yeah, let me move this here. So predictive maintenance, right? The talk by Mr. Pankaj was left at the time of artificial intelligence is now. I think that's a perfect phrase. So the traditional approaches of doing condition monitoring and taking actions, they worked really well all along, right? Like that's how India came to like as far as it is today. पहले तो AI था भी नहीं, इतनी technologies भी available नहीं थी. So the approaches that were created were more manual and also required a lot more intervention and domain expertise at every step. तो इसीलिए handshakes were happening quite a lot. एक टीम ने दूसरे को बताया, दूसरे ने तीसरे को बताया. A lot of processes and protocols got created. But today we are sitting on top of a very powerful technology stack जो कि कई सारी चीजों को ऑटोमेट कर सकता है. And that is why I always say monitoring for efficiency. So when you really think about efficiency कहां से आएगी? Efficiency आएगी जहां पे आप inefficiency detect कर पाओगे in advance. And that is where you will say, okay, I need to make a proactive action. And that the biggest hurdle to go from something that is proactive versus reactive is the mindset. India में आज भी we go to doctors when we fall sick. That approach leads to what you call as like the breakdown. हो गया, उसके बाद you are trying to get the repairs done. In the US, a very common mindset is, oh, you always go for a proactive checkup, right? Every 2-3 months, 4 months, you go for an annual checkup. Report आती रहेगी, and you basically get essentially an early warning of your condition and what you should be doing and should not be doing. So my talk today is going to be precisely around predictive maintenance. I will show you 3 demos. One around a custom development that we did for a very large automobile manufacturing firm here in India. We are still running the pilot there. And there we had to build a whole stack very customized for their particular factories and warehouses. तो उसका मैं छोटा सा एक आपको डेमो दिखाऊंगा. Then I will showcase something that actually creates a quicker pilot. जो speed की बात की संजय सर ने, everyone wants everything done right away. So as soon as you say, okay, चलो pilot करना है, how can we avoid the whole concept of a custom development? और एक sandbox out of shelf manner में we can offer something that you can test out as a pilot. So that is the part of the second demo that we have created. And third, we realized that when you really do condition monitoring and you identify some device, some equipment health is deteriorating, maybe some actions have to be taken, sometimes it also pairs really well with inventory management, right? Because that's where through insights, you can identify which supplier, which kind of situations, which kind of environment is leading to higher breakdowns, is leading to higher efficiency. And that is where the third part of my demo is going to be. All of them will be very, very quick. So a quick intro about myself. My name is Anshul Vikram Pandey. I did my undergraduate here in India. BITS Pilani se maine padhai ki electronics engineering mein. Then I went to the US to pursue a PhD in data science from New York University. I was very lucky. I was able to sail through my PhD very quickly. And then at that time itself, I started my very first company in the US called Axern, where I started specializing in how to deal with large amount of data, right? Very time series data where immediate actions are very much required. And started working with the stock exchanges there, started working with some of the largest banks. You do not really, अब आप ऐसे सोचो कि यहाँ पे breakdown हो जाता है machine का, it has become a kind of a lifestyle or like a part of life कि ठीक है breakdown होगा, fix होगा, थोड़ा सा time में everything will come back to normal. But you do not see a stock market going down not from the performance कि breakdown हो गया, server crash हो गया, सब बंद हो गया. ऐसी चीजें नहीं होती हैं. वहां पे भी machines हैं, वहां पे बहुत बड़ा infrastructure है. How is it कि वहां पे breakdowns नहीं होते हैं? बहुत complicated machines नहीं हैं, right? Not of course with so many degrees of freedom and mechanical parts, but still the network, the cables, there's so many moving parts there that have to be monitored and put under control. वहां पे भी every cable has a lifespan. People monitor कि इस cable की lifespan क्या होगी, कब उसको replace करना है, and so on. So I started my journey there. I started working in finance, became part of the Forbes list, started taking a lot of AI research into commercial products. Developed a couple of cutting-edge AI ventures. I have a few companies in the United States, India, and Singapore. हम लोगों ने लगभग 2,500 करोड़ का बिजनेस अब तक किया हुआ है overall in across all my companies. All of them are only in artificial intelligence. I'm also an advisor at Rutgers University and also a faculty in AI at New York University. So I try to keep very close collaboration with universities, जिससे कि top of the technology stack में क्या नया आ रहा है, I'm able to utilize. In India also I have been working now actively through some of my ventures. हम लोग RailTel के साथ work कर रहे हैं in some capacity. We are working with some smart cities. We are working with some like tractors, Asian Paint, so on, right? In different capacities, of course. So let's just flipping the lens to India. Industry 4.0 के बारे में हर तरफ बात चल रही है. This is a broader umbrella discussion that's happening everywhere. But if you really look at the nitty-gritties, everywhere they're talking about increasing efficiency, process monitoring, process automation, bringing AI for predictive alerts, predictive maintenance, how to reduce the breakdowns, and so on. So the ideal solution that everyone is talking about, कि ये किया कैसे जाए? Because India के मतलब we can talk about all the various flavors of क्या चाहिए, but उस चाहिए को बनाना कैसे है? इसके लिए you would talk, there are essentially only 5 big components जिसके अंदर all the AI systems are built, right? Whether it is a system for a bank or it is a system for a hospital or it is a system for another industry, generally यही 5 building blocks हैं जिसको आप piecemeal करके connect करते हैं. The first is all data in one place. So many companies are having data in silos. बहुत के पास processes ही नहीं है to even record the data and bring them in one place. So that is one part that we always look for in the ideal solution. Can my solution bring all my data so that my decision that I'm going to make on top of that data, it's not really siloed to a particular subset of the data, but it is very comprehensive and holistic in general. Second, we have comprehensive connectors. So when we started working with industries, we realized that there are some firms who have machines that already have their own data collections and they are sending the data in some databases. कुछ machines ऐसी भी हैं जिसमें data लाने की processes ही नहीं है. So how do you really create these external connectors through which, using IoT devices and external sensors, so that you can bring all of that information as well? तो आज आपके अगर warehouse में मुझे मान लीजिए equipment health monitoring करनी है, and the equipment is lying stale, it is not connected to any device, right? How do you even monitor for humidity around it, or the temperature is spiking in that particular area? So that is where you would need a lot of comprehensive connectors. Data analysis and dashboards, that is another thing. Like end of the day, you do not just want a CSV or an Excel file. खूब सारे उसमें numbers लिखे हैं. उसको parse करना is very difficult as well. तो आप चाहते हैं कि उसमें analysis आए. You want some kind of dashboards that come out of it as well. So you can make intuitive decisions just by looking at those charts and those numbers. AI-powered insights. And now this is where once you have all the data in one place, comprehensive connectors so that no machine is getting missed out. There are no single points of failure that because got left out, your decisions are now useless. That is where you come to the AI-powered insights, where you would have artificial intelligence models generating some insights for you. And customizable. And this is another important thing. I think the base product could be very similar, but every industry, every warehouse, every manufacturing firm has its own custom requirements because of the supply chain changes that might be there. So uske liye the component has to be customizable. So this point of view, say when people think about predictive maintenance, these days this is the most simplistic diagram that I could find that basically tries to cover. And then we'll go to the more complicated diagram as well. So you have machines. It could be from production line. It could be from your warehouses. It could be basically any asset altogether. Uske upar kuch process flows hain that are running. You basically record the data of that process flow. Now, maybe that process flow data is coming directly from the machine, या फिर उसके लिए आपको external sensors लगाने हैं उसको monitor करने के लिए. For example, the water level itself that Pankaj sir was discussing, right? If there is no sensor inbuilt, you would have to put external sensors to capture that information. You also look for historical data, अगर है available तो. अगर हम पहली बार, if we are bringing this whole system for the very first time, there will not be any historical data. Now, if there is no historical data, you cannot really do the classical machine learning anymore, because how will you train this model? Because there's no historical data. So you do look for, if there is availability of historical data, that's good. If there is no historical data, then you just change your algorithms and methods that you will be adopting. This data store also gets data from various other places, right? Again, things like if I'm going to issue alerts to a particular department head, किस level पे किसको alert जाना है? If it's a small breakdown, then maybe the alert goes to the support operations team. If it's a breakdown that is consistent and there's a pattern emerging, maybe the alert should now also go to the department head. If it's a broader breakdown that is happening only around a particular supplier, जो उस machine को दे रहा है, then definitely it has to be escalated to the much higher ups. So all of this information, that decision comes also from a lot of user data, आपके पास कौन सी team है, किसका mandate क्या है, and so on. You get these AI and predictive analytics algorithms that companies like us build for various kind of use cases. And then these are sent further into dashboards as well as into alerts. What Pankaj sir said, that is absolutely true, right? Even today, I'm running a very small company. It doesn't, like, we have barely 500 people across. But even then, if something goes wrong, I am not really checking like all my systems and software. I need an alert on my phone, right? If someone sends me an alert, I know I need to not talk to someone because now the ball is passed to me. So this is a very, very critical part. तो इसके लिए what we did, this company that we created in India around predictive maintenance, it's called Predco. Predco, we basically are a predictive maintenance solution. इसमें ये सारी चीजें जो हमने बात की, we basically tried to capture all of that. So proactive monitoring of equipment health, reducing unplanned downtime and operational cost. And we have sensor connectors. So if you do not have sensors already, we can bring partners, हम उसको deploy करा देते हैं. Intelligent monitoring होती है through AI. Alerts जाते हैं personalized. So right, so if you're at a department head level, you should not be bombarded by very small scale issues. Visualization dashboards हैं, geo tracking, geo fencing है, plug and play customizations हैं. 4 broad solutions हमने अभी तक बनाए हुए हैं, and I think this broadly captures a lot of problems that we see in industry. The first being condition monitoring, and condition could be in the process itself, on the asset itself. AI powered predictive maintenance, depending on the condition, what are the diagnostics, right? Shall we be issuing an alert for making a prediction, doing a maintenance in a week time or a month's time? Can we chart down the trajectory of the deterioration and say कि यार 1 महीने बाद ही खराब हो जाएगा और 2 महीने बाद ही खराब हो जाएगा, by looking at the patterns across all the other devices that you have. Anomaly detection and surveillance, this is something that we added recently because we are seeing spikes that interestingly enough, the client that we are working with, they didn't even realize that there were actually a lot of environmental factors that were coming at play, because of which certain spikes were happening that were not even captured as part of their processes in monitoring. So like in the maintenance schedule. तो spikes होते थे temperature के, because of which कुछ कभी-कभी छोटी से there were like some combustion would happen in certain parts, and the solution was very straightforward. They really had to just move certain devices and reorient their warehouse so that those inventories could be managed properly. And then the last is equipment health monitoring. This we already talked about: centralized data in one place, custom dashboard, proactive monitoring. So let's talk about the two very quick demos. Predictive maintenance में, the first one, so for predictive and inventory management. So in predictive maintenance, sorry, let me just go to the, yeah. So there is one that I will show shortly. So this is one we created for this large automobile manufacturing firm in India. They had multiple plants, one for just spray painting, so the painting booth itself for their vehicles, and they were monitoring a lot of various factors on the pressure of that of the machine for the painting, for the spray painting itself, alongside the temperature in the room, the locations of the sensors, and so on and so forth. The system already comes with all of these support for all of these connectors. So I think the water level rising, the humidity monitoring, all those things are already in place. So let me just show you a quick demo of that. Just give me 1 second. So let me just play it. And please let me know if you're able to hear the sound of the demo or not.
Fraction facility. So for painting booth, this use case demonstrates a scenario where there are painting booths across 5 different geographical locations. And from each one of these locations, we are getting sensor data for temperature, pressure, and humidity levels. So as you can see, there are a few very useful charts that have been displayed to you right away. And what these charts are showing, the data that we have been receiving from the different locations for the sensors.
So one thing that was unique about this particular client was that they already had these machines with the installed sensors. So we didn't really have to install external IoT devices, right? The second demo that I will show quickly is where we actually have brought our own devices as well.
So right now, this use case is configured to capture the data for temperature sensor, humidity sensor, and the spray tank pressure sensor, which are the most commonly used sensors. in case of like a place which is performing any painting kind of work on top of any equipment that is being.
So there you get like lots of these kind of charts that come out. Let me just now go quickly to the second demo, which is this one. Okay.
Welcome to the demo of TreadForce Predictive Maintenance Platform. So this is our login screen.
Sorry about that.
So first of all, we need to enter our username and password and log in into the TreadForce Predictive Maintenance Platform.
So this is the second. So the first one was a custom development that we had to do because they did not want like a cloud setup. They wanted something that would run in their data center. Unka data bahar na jata. तो इसलिए हमने वो setup बनाया. This is running purely on cloud. So if you have access to the system.
On the dashboard, when you enter our platform, you see two options. One is for inventory management and other is for predictive maintenance. TreadForce is offering both of these state-of-the-art services to its customers. So let's go to the predictive maintenance section. In predictive maintenance section, you will see your various plants, your various factories, your various divisions that you need to monitor. So this is, let's go to a rubber production plant, for example. So when you get into your rubber production plant, you see a very beautiful and intuitive dashboard, which shows you a lot of information at a glance, including, first of all, the alerts that you are having for your plant or factory, along with active use cases, maintenance progress, and alerts per month, along with alerts distribution according to various divisions in your factory.
So the same way we saw in the other one, the use cases can be created by combining different types of sensor data that we would be capturing. If the machines are already sending us the sensor data, we can just pick that, or we can put our own device. So I'll show you a very quickly.
When we go to use cases, we can see that one of the use case, like one of the process in our plant or in our factory is crude rubber production. So let's go to crude rubber production. Here we are having a device called paint gun. So this is one of our machines or one of our device, example demo device that we are monitoring over here. And
so again, here also we did the exact same thing. Now let me show you quickly how the alerts get created, because I think that is one of the most interesting part here. So here, like we had an example of our own device that was getting set up.
You can also create watchers. Watchers are a feature where you can monitor your parameters of your machine. These you can set threshold on the various parameters of your machine.
And here you can, in our feature watchers, we can create two types of watcher basically. So these two types of watchers are threshold based watcher and anomaly detection job.
So what that means is, अब तक हमने sensor से data ले लिया अपने पास. It is coming on a dashboard. Now you want alerts issued to you. The alerts could be of two types. One is you want the system to automatically figure out what kind of anomaly or some important situation interesting situation is happening. Other is you have your own domain expertise. You believe कि humidity इस level के ऊपर नहीं जानी चाहिए, या water level इस level के ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए. So the first one is the threshold based watcher, where you bring your own domain knowledge and you can just set it and now leave it, right? Anytime something that threshold is breached, you get an alert. Second is the anomaly detection, where the system is doing it all by itself. You do not need to be involved at all.
Threshold based watcher, in that you can create thresholds, up threshold and down threshold, and you can create an action on behalf of that. And you can also have anomaly detection job that uses advanced statistical models to create or define anomalies. Here I'm creating an anomaly detection job, and I'll choose the aggregate function for that. Like I'll just choose mean, and then I'll select a device, let's say the conveyor belt, and I'll have a bucket span. The bucket span will be around from 15 minutes to 1 hour, and I'll just choose 15 minutes and will create a job. Here you can see the anomaly detection job has been created. Similarly, you can also create threshold based watcher. And in that watcher, you have to first choose the device, and you can also choose like what feature, what field you need to monitor, and you can create the threshold, threshold for that. And this of actions that you have created, and I'll just show how you can create actions from.
Now, action is the most important part. This is the part which Pankti sir and Sanjay sir said.
See that there is no
so that you want the alerts right now, to be sent to the user.
Defined, and I'll just add an action. So here, by clicking on that, you can set an action, and an action is a suffix to a voucher where you can define which user will be getting an email or an SMS, and what body it will get, and what alert that user will get. SMS.
So you have support for emails and SMS, right? अब बता दो कि किसको anytime this particular situation is happening, who should be getting alerted. So that is the situation that you can essentially then monitor. You can even send the messages around what needs to be done when certain types of alerts are issued, right? So that is a very, very quick demo of the predictive maintenance component. Let me come back very quickly. I know I do not want to go too over time. So I'm going to leave the inventory management part abhi. Maybe I can come back if we have time further. But so there is an inventory management component which again does this. It has support for, okay, where is the inventory going? You get an alert if the inventory is going down or above a particular threshold. It's more for operational efficiency. Let us say that you have multiple warehouses, somewhere there is inventory, you should be able to know, right, where the inventory is. So just to segue and then I'll wrap it there. So how much time does it usually take? Because that's another point that Sanjay sir said, right? Speed is important. Honestly, it depends, right? There was a custom development that we did, even though it was a custom development, but my client already had CNC machines that was able to capture some data. So again, the whole development itself with the first pilot launched took around 3 to 4 weeks, right? In 4 weeks, we were actually on the ground to really say, okay, this is the setup that we can actually offer to you. What we do is our process is we do preliminary survey about what is the requirement, what are the available solutions out there, and where the convergences are. Then we do a site survey, and then we do the execution. So I would say anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks to about 12 weeks. So 1 to 3 months is usually a turnaround, which we generally expect for a first pilot to be deployed on the ground. So with that, I will take a pause. I know I took around 20 to 25 minutes itself, and happy to take questions further and dive deeper into any other aspect as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anshul Bikram Pandey. We are very, very hopeful, and hopeful from Pankti Saab also, that Indian Oil Corporation as a policy will take the help of artificial intelligence in your complete lube management approach. We have to go a long way. We are presently only talking, and I'm sure very soon few companies will give us a chance to prove the benefits of artificial intelligence. And definitely, जैसा Pankti Saab ने कहा, the industry people needs. I have many machines in my factory. I need alerts on my mobile. There are hundreds and hundreds of CNC machines using cutting oil. One person has written he has many machines using by drawing oil, quenching oil. So, and as Pankti Saab said, there are various attributants which are causing the contamination of the oil. So if any particular level is increasing, so that means that equipment problem is there. That equipment needs to be immediately handled too. I'm sure very much that artificial intelligence or the machine learning can definitely play a very, very important role in reducing our costs, overall costs, and in improving our product quality. I know if there is a contamination in the cutting oil, how much does it affect the product quality? In addition to the cost, the quality is also very important. And let me admit it, being a manufacturer, India on the world map is known as a country
main case लess
quality. So those things, we have to improve our image, and I'm sure this will help us. So I come, Dr. Pankaj Saab, in next episode, I have got many WhatsApp on my mobile. If people want that there should be oil specific seminar soon, and the next for maximum number of alerts I have got is for we should cover in our next episode transformer oil and turbine oil, because there the huge amount of the cost is too much. So they want your help, assistance, and guidance in handling the condition monitoring of transformer oil and turbine oil, means the oil being used in the power industry. And of course, if Dr. Anshul Pandey is available at that time in India, or in case he can make himself available from US, then how can one by one we'll touch every sector. So how can artificial intelligence can help reducing the cost in power industry, mainly turbine oil and transformer oil? We'll soon announce a date. Now I'm coming to Vaibhav. Vaibhav, you have many questions asked from the participants. So you can take one by one question. And Pandey Saab or Dr. Anshul Pandey or Pankaj Saab will be answering them. Plus, we can make open, the audience also can also directly interact with us. This was the theory part of it. People have a lot of one-to-one individual concerns and questions. Like one question I just want to ask Pankaj Saab is, one person has asked, how to ensure that the oil being supplied to me is old and is new and not refined one or the old one? I mean, the supplier is not cheating with me. How can I make sure that I am getting the new oil?
This question is very specific. He is talking about he is getting oil from so many suppliers, because there are MSDS, Material Safety Data Sheet. There are product data sheet. There are inspection report. He can very well ask from the manufacturer. Is directly oil coming is from the manufacturer. This is virgin oil. There is no refined oil. And there are certain parameters you can go for: kinematic viscosity, flash point, pore point, acid number. There are so many parameters. It is very difficult to take because they cannot check the oil at their center unless and until they have those kind of equipment. So you ask, because no supplier can give wrong oil to them whenever they are saying new oil. Always ask for material safety data sheet. Always ask for batch test report, and all these things you will get from the prominent oil supplier. I'm not talking about small suppliers. At least those suppliers are omnipresent, or they are multinational company or public sector under company. They have all the data. And as far as checking at their end is concerned, so many equipments are required. It will be very difficult to test all of them. But at least certain parameter, viscosity and...
Sir, as per IS, we are whatever parameters are there, we are asking for those parameters. But see, that is a one-time activity. So suppose they are using used oil also. So at the time of checking, it will show all the parameters will be within the range. But the difference will be when our customer will be using those oil, and should work for say 6 years, but maybe after 4 years they will require to change the oil. So
I think this is the question from Manish Sahuji. Yes, can you introduce yourself?
Sir, myself Manish. I'm working in Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, BHEL Bhopal, and actually we purchase turbine oil for our customers.
Yes. Now, welcome to this seminar, Manish Sahuji. I am the person who was associated with BHEL your BHL Haridwar unit for the where steam turbine and everything is manufactured. We have chalk out certain parameters and plan. As far as Indian, because I cannot talk about others, I can talk about my company only, because we give all MS data sheet, your requirement, equipment requirement, and when customer is using, they have to use condition monitoring only. No supplier in the world can give the oil which can last for so many years. As far as turbine oil is concerned, their life is 25 to 30 years, 40 years, even though steam turbines are running for ages. You cannot imagine. But without condition monitoring, you won't get the life. So all your customer, tell them to go for condition monitoring program so that oil can last for so long. So it will not last for 3, 4 years, 5 years. It has to last for 25 to 30 years, 40 years. Because the turbine oil is the only oil, because this is purely refined base oil, and there are only 1 or 2 additives which take care of anti-corrosion addition elements and oxidation stability test, because we call it oxidation stability test, turbine oil oxygen stability test, valuable tool in order to indicate life of the turbine oil. So you ask for those certificate MSDS, turbine oil supplies turbine oil requirement, these specific parameter and readings and numbers, what test they have done. But as far as turbine oil is concerned, you ask for TOS test. This is called turbine oil oxidant stability test. This is the topmost parameter in the power industry.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Nobody can give. If supplier is not from the reputed company, they cannot give TOS test, because this is highly recommended test and important parameter of turbine oil. Thank you so much, Manishi.
Okay, actually, sir, now we are bound to go with GEM. So very new vendors are coming, and we have to keep our quality also good. So because of that only, I have asked this question, sir.
See, your question is very relevant and valuable, but please ask your management. Turbine oil cannot be, if you are purchasing from GEM, then you have to take help of important manufacturers. How many parameters, which parameters I have to keep in my specification, so I get right kind of product.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank you
similarly,
so much.
we have a question about the hydraulic oil. What is the life of hydraulic oil once we start to use it?
See, hydraulic oil company, you have to keep your oil clean and dry, and you have to take care of temperature. Monitoring, regular bearing temperature monitoring is required, because hydraulic oil also, like a turbine oil which runs for so many years, proper alignment you have to make, regular analysis you have to make. You have to keep, everything like turbine oil. That's why you will get the most life from the hydraulic oil. Thermal stress, temperature, so many parameters. It's not like, doctor, I am suffering from blood pressure. If I take this medicine, I'll be all right. 30 mg you take today. If you don't walk, you don't exercise, it will be 60 ml. 60 mg. Like that only life of the hydraulic oil, I cannot say this life of hydraulic oil is so many years, because all the mineral oils are prone to sludge, varnish, thermal stress, everything is there. You have to take care of your equipment and do conditioning. It will last for so many years. This is my reply to you.
Thank you, sir. Truly, मैंने अपने 25 साल के oil filtration experience में देखा है. Turbine oil, you said, has a life of 20 to 25 years, and one oil fill costs few crores. Yes. And I see so much of oil wastage. Hydraulic oil, people are changing in companies. They have made a thumb rule that every year change the hydraulic oil. Well, as it can run for 20 to 25 years.
Spend some pennies on this condition monitoring kind of equipment, you will get it, because that means you are discarding your oil before drain interval. It is going to cost huge money. Not required. You have to take care of your oil.
Yes, sir. Sir, similarly, Yeah, in the same manner, one participant has asked, how frequently the condition monitoring is required?
See, it also depends on what kind of equipment you have, because condition monitoring also comes with a cost. Like the big sump, suppose 5,000 liter sump is there, 25,000 liter sump is there, 30. This is your demand from the oil supplier. They have to do it condition monitoring free. Because you are giving several crore of rupees of to oil manufacturer supplier. That is their prime responsibility to take care of your big equipment, big sump capacity equipment on condition monitoring as a customer service.
Vaibhav, I think you and your customers are making a note of it. It's a very, very important point which Mr. Pangte has repeatedly said. Condition monitoring is your right. You should demand it from your supplier. So
you have to ask.
You have to ask and save the money, reduce the cost of your company. Is something very, very important. And it's not penny. There are crores and crores of rupees involved in this oil maintenance cost.
And there are sampling monitoring kit specific, very good, very excellent kind of equipments are there. This is going without any touch. This is going to automotive machines, and you will get report. You have to chalk out with your manufacturer oil supplier what frequency we have to done. Basically, on turbine oil, we carry out sample because so many samples they are also taking care. But bare metal analysis, NAS values, they don't have any equipment that can be tested in very sophisticated lab. That can be quarterly basis or after 4 months, thrice in a year. It can be chalked out. We are all oil manufacturer supply already doing it. This is not a new thing in the market.
Next question, Vaibhav.
So one of the participants is asking, what is the reliability of FRF oil?
FRF is fire resistance fluid?
Thermic fluid or fire resistance fluid?
Fire resistance fluid, sir.
Reliability means, because this question is not specific what he wants to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Is the person there? Can the person be unmuted and he can ask directly the question from Pangte?
Yes, sure. Let me check, sir.
Let him tell. If he's there, so I'll come to know what he wants. If he left, then because FRF.
Satyadan Darshan Mohanty.
He has to ask
Mr. Mohanty,
which FRF oil, what kind of oil he is talking about. Because this FRF oil, all these kind of oils are very specific and specific to the
cannot connect to Mr. Mohanty.
No problem.
The next question.
Will no problem. You send it to me, mail it to me. I'll give you a reply.
Sure, sir. And there is another query, sir. Automation solution of oil dispensing and monitoring system.
Automated solution of oil dispensing and monitoring solution.
Yes, sir.
Better you ask this question to Dr. Anshul Pandey.
Yes, sir.
Because you are talking about automation. Automation right. Is, from my side, automation is up to certain limits. From that limits, I think he'll give proper justification to your reply.
Sure. So thank you for this question. So at the moment, there are a couple of systems that are being developed in other countries. We have seen some that are being used by Shell recently, developed by a counterpart company in the US. So the idea is that only like end of the day, we are looking for how to capture key input information or sensor information from these devices and then bring them into one place so that analytics can happen, monitoring can happen, dashboards can happen, alerts can happen. As of right now, I'm not too aware of how many systems are available in India apart from what we have. We know some system manufacturers do offer their own, like Siemens has created a system for their own. But currently in the market, the solutions, I believe Predco is one of the only solution that is really providing these custom end-to-end vertically integrated ecosystem. And the idea is that only like once we understand what is the process flow, where are the key checkpoints where we need to keep picking key information like input information, this whole system can be integrated very well. And that will be supported by the Predco platform right away.
One more question has come. What are the air release parameters? Though I am not really clear about this question, if you, Pankta Saab, can understand the question is, what about air release parameters?
Air release parameters, I don't know in what context he's talking about air release parameters. At this moment, really, I don't know what he wants to know. Because, you know, I've shown them demulsibility characteristics, foaming characteristics, emulsification characteristics, and their aeration is taking place, and from those angles, and what kind of air, because, you know, all the hydraulic oils or turbine oil, industrial oil, they are prone to water contamination, water condensation, and air release. Air release, something is going from bearing to their side, foaming is taking place. I think this is the question he wants to ask, but it's very difficult to give reply without the proper, I can say in what context he's asking. It's very difficult to understand from my side. Okay, if participants are there, I think I can give proper reply what he wants to ask.
Mr. Satyendra Das has asked this question, if he's there still. Anyway, sir, so now we are right on time. And
you might be having, Mr. Sanjay, you might be having so many questions. Yeah. And as you suggested, so many, series will come. We'll take one by one because, you know, condition monitoring is very big subject. Replying to all these queries, because I've seen somebody was asking about automotive oil, somebody was asking about synthetic oil, lubricating oil, gear oil, compressor oil, turbine oil, hydraulic oil. It takes minimum 200 hours to address all these theories, because suppose I'm going for automotive lubrication. Automotive lubrication society of sir, if NAS value greater than 12, what can we do for hydraulic oil? Please filter it. Filtration machines are there. And NAS value 12 is a very bad oil. Please take care of them. It should not go up to 12. Hydraulic oil going to 12 means we are not taking care of our equipment, because, you know, NAS value 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because all these, you know, contaminants are there. That is why this NAS value going 12, 14, 16. Please keep your NAS value up to an optimum level as per ISO certification. It's very good he has asked this question. And to keep your system clean is the only solution. NAS value going up is nothing, but this is all dust, dirt, particles, condensation, and the environment, oxygen, everything. You have to take care of. You have to go for filtration also, pre-filters machine, because, you know, in my entire career of 30 plus years, I came to know one person, and let me tell you in front of everyone, first time I have seen Haglund drives. Their actuators were working only up to NAS 5. NAS goes up to 7. That actuator was blocking and they were not working, and this was on some sugar mills. So for Haglund drives, they have kept one NAS machine which was closely monitoring up to NAS 5 level, and it was working fine.
MI factors are also important parameter. Mechanical impurities, I think MI means?
Yeah. Yes. Very excellent questions. Excellent question from turbine side. Whenever we are going for centrifuging everything, because there are certain myths in the market, we don't have to centrifuge our machine because it is deteriorating the health of the oil. This is a myth. nothing will happen. This is as good as blood purification system. Nothing will happen. But keeping your machine impurity free, please centrifuge your machine in MI mode, mechanical impurities mode. All the mechanical impurities, they'll suck it. It will be kept at one place by the centrifuging machine. You drain it, you do it, mechanical impurity. So all the dust particles will be up to filter only, and your oil is as good as new. In our condition monitoring system, whenever I am getting the sample, more dust particles, more impurities are there, I write, please operate your turbine, your centrifuge in MI mode for 72 hours. I don't recommend less than 72 hours centrifuging machine to keep their machine, keep their oil in healthy condition. Thank you.
So, sir, anyway, we have been able to cover many points right well in time. And I hope, Dr. Anshul Pandey, you get some inputs like the issue of hydraulic oil. The artificial intelligence has to work and indicate to the owner that your NAS value has increased beyond 5, which is very, very detrimental for the machine. So we will keep discussing. We have a long way to go. And thank you very much. Our country has taken the initiative. Our Prime Minister, rather I would say our beloved Prime Minister, has also initiated a concept called circular economy, and there is a budget allocated for this: recycle, reuse, and reduce. So with this and your sincerity for sharing your knowledge and wisdom and time is very much appreciated, sir. We as a country will try to take lead in this field now. We will teach the world what is oil engineering and this predictive maintenance, use of artificial intelligence, condition monitoring, everything. So our next seminar, just for the sake of you all, as I have got many messages, is going to cover the awareness on turbine and transformer oil, the oil seized in power industry. So we'll invite many key people from the power industry, the utilities.
What I suggest you don't mix turbine and transformer oil because both are very big subject. When you talk about turbine oil, you talk about turbine oil only. For transformer oil, next session, because if you are not giving proper time to turbine oil manufacturers, companies, power industry, then we are not giving justice to them because both are very lengthy and very big subjects.
Right, sir. And turbine oil is also an area where a lot of people have discussed about the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning. And
that is what required in turbine oil, because that is what required in it. Suppose they give alert message, they don't have to look for any internet because they'll get alert message, they'll go for condition monitoring. Because all these companies, all these power industry, they have few parameters available at their lab, but after that, sophisticated machines and everything is not there because they are into power business. They are not into oil business. So they cannot go for so many crores of rupees of equipment.
Right, sir. So I once again thank you all very much. And I wish Dr. Anshul Pandey, may you become not 30, the top 10 in, under 30 soon. Keep the India flag high. We all feel very proud of you. Wherever you are in US or India or any part of the world, or maybe after a few years at moon, definitely you will be associated with India. Our eyes feel really moist seeing the young achievers like you who have a long way to go and to prove that Indian time has come to prove to the world. We should be leaders in every possible field. So with this, sir, once again, Pandey sir, your talk.
Yeah, what I'm asking, just give me a favor because we are getting so many questions in chat pod. Whenever they are asking question, that it should be replies, I'll give it to you because there are so many common questions people are asking. Presentation, I've shown them, but questions should be replied to the best of my knowledge. Whatever reply I can give, I'll give them. And I want it should go industry-wise, so it will be justice to everyone.
Yes. So we will soon we are even like I tell you, Dr. Anshul, for you something, we are trying to think of a WhatsApp or a chat box type of a message when a person will type a problem related to the oil, and automatically through artificial intelligence, he will get the reply. Look what is happening. So maybe if we can develop most frequently asked questions, and automatically I type my question, my problem on that chat box, and the artificial intelligence automatically, immediately I get the reply.
See, there are so many questions. I'll just want to reply, Shubham. Presents the moisture, foamy hydraulic oil, because this was in my lecture. See, Mr. Shubham, oil is bad for anything. It will deteriorate your oil, hydraulic oil, turbine, or whatever it is, because oil is corrosive in nature, and it forms acid, H2O. H2O forming with hydrocarbon. You can see what reaction can take place, acidic in nature, everything in nature. Please keep your hydraulic oil from water kind of things, keep away. If at all water is mixing, then go for condition modeling. Just see how much percentage of water can we keep to run the business. There should not be any problem. And foamy hydraulic oil purely signify means some water is mixing or aeration is taking place. This is the question from Shubham. Shubham is asking so many questions, and this is what I can reply. Mr. Kumar Prajapat, can we have a copy of presentation? Even if I give you the copy of presentation, is not going to signify your purpose. It's better to keep it with me only. Suppose I give you presentation, nothing is going to happen, because this takes so many years of experience to talk like this and in the common forum, because we have worked with our hands in so many industrial development. We have given so many product, Indianized product instead of imported product. This is our prime responsibility. We are giving solution to we call it import substitute. Giving import substitute is also a very big service to the nation. Thank you so much.
Good, sir. I get an alert from my IT team. Few hundred people have benefited with your wisdomful talks. Very soon again we will travel you. Will
my pleasure.
Create
pleasure of our
country about oil engineering and oil maintenance. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the
participants. The organizing team who have taken a lot of pains. Thank you, Babab. Thank you, Utkarsh.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks all.
Thank you.